For the past 2 years after I started playing RuneScape again, I made it my goal to become a billionaire. I even made a video 8 months ago on my roadmap to becoming a billionaire as a noob. I still think my original plan I laid out was good. However, in November of 2022, the third raid of old school RuneScape was released. Now, the reason my original plan was to farm corp until I got a drop is simple. I do not think of my moneymakers as GP per hour. I think that this concept is a terrible way to see GP in RuneScape, and let me show you why. I have 100 days played on my account, 30 of which were spent on free-to-play when I was 12. So I have essentially 70 days played, and I now have a bank value of 1.6 billion. If I spent the entire 70 days doing the new best moneymaker in the game, which is the Tombs of a Masket for 20 mil an hour, I would have 33.6 bill. But obviously I didn't do that, and no one would, because that is insane to do one activity for that long. But more importantly, because you would need a duo partner doing 500 invocation level raids, which take a lot of skill and patience, as I've heard it can be a little tedious. Which means I do not do this when I enter the Tombs of a Masket. Instead, I solo the Tombs of a Masket with a raid level between 150 and 250. I still haven't done an expert yet. Doing TOA at my raid level gives you an expected value of about 2.6 mil per hour, which means to become a billionaire, I would have needed to do this activity for 385 hours. That is 16 days of game time at Tombs of a Masket, which I promise you I did not do. I only have 54 KC, meaning expected value is stupid. And no, I don't mean EVscape. Anyone who can organize an event like the Battle Royale for old school RuneScape has my respect. RuneScape is not a game based around the concept of expected value. RuneScape is a game based around a random number generator, also known as RNG. RuneScape is a game meant to pursue that feeling of getting lucky, and that is how you should value activities in RuneScape. This is why the Iron Man game mode is so popular. Instead of doing activities based on expected value, you play the game doing an activity until you get lucky and get the item you need in order to unlock more content in RuneScape. It's essentially the same concept as doing a quest in order to unlock more content in RuneScape. So what do I mean by all of this, and how does it relate to the fact that it's never been easier to become a billionaire? Well, there are a couple different items in this game that are worth hundreds of mil, and even a few that are over 1 bill. These items are all locked behind content that generally requires a good level of skill and gear to do these activities. Before TOA was released, the Corp Beast was by far the activity with the lowest barrier to entry for an activity with an item that was once worth over 1 bill GP. Gear wise, you need about 20 to 50 mil of gear to solo the boss, but the biggest barrier to entry, and the reason a lot of people don't solo it, is because you need to run an alt account at the same time with a bond on it. The boss itself is possibly one of the easiest bosses in the game to solo. All you do is teleport in, use your special attack, teleport out, recharge your special attack, teleport back to Corp, which conveniently has a teleport next to its entrance, run in, use your special attack again, and repeat this like 20 to 30 times. Then you just stand there and kill him until his health runs out with Protect from Magic on. Pretty easy, right? Well, now Corp's drops have dropped a bit in price, and TOA was released introducing another activity with a chance at $1 billion drop. Now, as much as a raid sounds intimidating, doing an entry-level raid with 0 invocations is easier than doing a boss like Vorkath. You might die a couple times, but I can promise you that you will do it. Even after you die in the raid with 0 invocations, you get food and items to help you try again. Now, entry-level Tombs of a Masket will not get you $1 billion GP. But after you do it a couple times, you will be able to push the raid level over 150, which will then give you a realistic chance at getting $1 billion item. So the Tombs of a Masket raid has a higher skill barrier to entry, but you can do it with gear worth less than like 5 mil GP. I did it with this gear setup, and I am by no means some really good player of using different mechanics to do this in like the most minimal gear. I wanted to make a guide with low level gear with easy invocations for the average Joe, but I just never got around to putting this footage in a video yet. I felt like everyone was doing it, so I've just been making videos about different things, like how I feel about activities in RuneScape being organized by expected value when considering how to become a billionaire or make money in old school RuneScape. I strongly believe the best way to become a billionaire in RuneScape is by doing activities that give you a chance at getting items that are worth over 100 mil. When you do activities like these, the rewards of getting lucky are like 10 10 times higher than if you get lucky at Barrows, Zolra, or Vorkath. When I think of doing something in RuneScape, I like to think about what would happen in the best case scenario of doing this activity, and also the worst case scenario. No matter how many times you do something, you will always have the exact same chance to get an item every single kill. So the best case scenario with Tombs of a Mascot, you could get back-to-back Tumican Shadows or something crazy and make 2 build just like that. At Barrows, you can get multi-item chests with the best items, which is probably worth around like 3 to 5 mil. At Vorkath, if you get lucky, you get like 1 Draconic Visage, which is worth around like 2 mil. The worst case scenario at Tombs of a Mascot is that you don't get any purples, but you still make pretty decent money off the chest drops, and you don't need to spend a lot in supplies. At Barrows, you make money off the runes, regardless of anything else. At Vorkath, you make really good money, regardless of luck. And so if you need money for gear to do an activity, then doing something like Vorkath is a good way to build. But if your goal is to get really big items like a T-bow, then doing that activity to get the T-bow, or another activity that gets you $1 billion drop, is by far the best way to get there. Tombs of a Mascot is an activity with a really high upside if you get lucky, and a very high upside if you don't get lucky. You will probably make money either way. I would say that this is similar to Corp, except that getting lucky or unlucky at Corp are both inferior to the Tombs of a Mascot. Hence why after 54 kill count, I have officially become a billionaire, and my methods have finally been proven by watching these 2 videos. Now anyone else can too.
$1 billion staff, come on. Give it to me. Please. Please.